In recent years, the topic of international trade has captured global attention, particularly through the lens of the trade policies pursued by former U.S. President Donald Trump. As we dive into this complex subject, it is essential to unpack the key elements of Trump's trade wars, identifying the winners, the losers, and what the future might hold. At the heart of Trump's trade strategy was the belief that previous trade agreements were skewed against American interests. In response, he pursued a series of tariffs, particularly targeting China, but also affecting allies like the European Union, Canada, and Mexico. These measures were aimed at reducing trade deficits and reviving American manufacturing. Yet the economic game of tit-for-tat tariffs leads us to consider who truly emerged as winners and losers in this high-stakes trade war. First, let's look at the intended winners, American manufacturers. In theory, tariffs would make imported goods more expensive, thereby boosting demand for domestic products. However, the reality was more nuanced. Certain sectors like steel and aluminum saw temporary gains. For example, U.S. steel mills experienced a short-lived revival due to protective measures. But many manufacturers reliant on imported components faced increased production costs, which ultimately trickled down to consumers in the form of higher prices. Then we have the unintended winners. Countries like Vietnam and Mexico benefited significantly as companies sought to circumvent tariffs. By shifting production from China to these nations, multinational corporations could avoid hefty U.S. tariffs. Thus, while the U.S.-China trade relationship became strained, new trade dynamics emerged, bolstering other economies. On the flip side are the clear losers. American farmers found themselves in a precarious position. China, in response to U.S. tariffs, imposed its own tariffs on American agricultural products. This caused a significant drop in U.S. exports of soybeans, pork, and other goods to China, leading to financial distress among American farmers despite government subsidies designed to ease the burden. Globally, the interconnected nature of modern economies meant that uncertainty from the trade wars cast a long shadow. The International Monetary Fund noted a slowdown in global growth during this period, highlighting the broader economic ramifications of such trade conflicts. As we look toward the future, evidence suggests a shift towards multilateral cooperation to address trade issues, potentially signaling a different approach by future administrations. The Biden administration, for example, has shown interest in rebuilding alliances and addressing trade tensions through diplomacy and revised trade agreements. In conclusion, Trump's trade wars have left a mixed legacy. While they aim to correct perceived imbalances in trade, the outcomes have been varied, creating both new opportunities and challenges. As the world continues to adapt to shifting trade dynamics, the lessons learned from this period will likely shape future trade policies. Understanding these complexities is crucial in navigating the intricate web of global trade for nations seeking both prosperity and stability.